President Biden works to win over Hispanic voters in key swing states. He's launching Latinos con Biden-Harris as Bill Maher rips the Democrat Party for pandering to minority voters.
Outdated racial pandering is one reason Democrats lose elections. When Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi put on kente cloth, I don't think it earned them one vote for their powerful emotional ties to Ghana. Today's Democrats should move on from identity politics. It's not working.
Here to weigh in is Libre Initiative President Daniel Garza and co-chair of Let's Win for America Action and political analyst Janelle King. Janelle, let's start with you. So race baiting, all that victimhood politics, has it run its course? Is it not working anymore with minorities?
Oh, it's not working at all with minorities. I think these comments, these emotional outbursts, just this whole desperate and unhinged attack on the Black community, or now the Latino community, it's just something that's just not working. It's not working for our community or the Hispanic community. But if you think about it, if Trump didn't do anything right when it came to the Black community, the one thing that I can say he did consistently is that he did make the Black vote a priority. He talked about it. He had put it in the forefront of people's minds. And then he turned around and he delivered on some of his promises. And what has been promises that our community has been waiting on for years and sometimes decades. And so when you look at it, the bottom line, President Biden is coming into this conversation from behind. And I think that he understands that. However, as Republicans, we have to be mindful that there are a few topics that Democrats kind of weigh in on that catapults them to the front. And those topics are reparations, racism as a whole, education, particularly when it comes to educating on Black history. These are topics that Democrats love to rest on because we typically don't have good messaging around it. So as long as our messaging doesn't slip and we are able to talk about things outside of the economy, I feel like we'll do fine as Republicans in this race.
Yeah, it just seems like Joe Biden and the Democrats in general just took the vote for granted, and they slipped behind, and all of a sudden Trump has been paying attention to both of these groups, but really in a non-pandering way, just like, hey, I can help you with your checkbook and your pocketbook and make gas prices lower. Daniel, I want you to look at some of these numbers, because I don't know anyone who's been following the Hispanic vote polling numbers closer than you have and for as long as you have. Look at these numbers. Hispanic voters prefer Donald Trump 46-40. Help us understand why that's happening right now, because those are shocking numbers.
Those are shocking numbers, Rachel, but it has to, of course, to do with inflation and the high cost of everything. But also, if you think about it, the Democrats have become really the party of socialist university professors, extremist activists who block traffic to keep people from work, getting to their jobs on time, who fight against energy abundance. They're keeping parents from choosing the kind of education that they want for their children. When school choice, we know, is the greatest equalizer in the marketplace. And Democrats are the party of heavy taxes, anti-business regulations, soft on crime, the border crisis. Look, they don't. You were talking about this. They don't bat an eye when dividing the country with race baiting, branding anyone who doesn't agree with them as a racist or fascist or a Nazi even. They're the party to hold certain communities to account, who refuse to insist that these members act morally. The Hamas terrorism, the illegal border crossers, vandalizing of property by leftist organizations. Look, as a result, many voting Latinos are saying this is not my party anymore. Right.
Well, this is it. I want you to see this clip, by the way. Watch this, and we'll come back on the other side, because this is what I think is the Democrats course-correcting a little bit on their messaging to Latinos.
To get Latinx vaccinated as well. Why? They're worried that they'll be vaccinated and deported. A guy named Trump. And this is a guy who who's the way he talks about the Latino community is, well, in 2016 he called Latinos criminal, drug dealers, and rapists.
Daniel, the Democrats were all in on Latinx, whatever that means, Latinx. I don't know. I don't think Joe Biden knows what it means. But now they've switched back to Latinos. Some polling or messaging correction here.
I tell you, Hispanics hate Latinx.
They hate it.
But yeah, the pandering is actually condescending, Rachel. Look, center-left extremists only know how to project low expectations, stereotypes, and victimhood. This is what they do. They confer on minorities protected status because they think we can't survive without their handouts, without their salvation. They'd rather lower standards in the name of inclusivity through DEI. I mean, DEI tells you and tells everyone you are less skilled, less intelligent, and less capable of doing the job in question. It's condescending is what this is.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, Latinx was an attempt by the left to take out the natural use of gender in the Spanish language. So instead of Latino and Latina, but, if you know Hispanics, they kind of like that. They like their language and they like gender roles, and they're not gender neutral. So anyway, it's interesting. I think we're going to have to bring you both back because the minority vote is going to be the key vote in this election, and it is changing at a pace that even the most astute political analysts are shocked by. So we'll bring you both back. Thanks so much, Janelle. Thanks so much, Daniel.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.